What's up, YouTubers? It's me, Johnny. Having some stout tonight. It's the Guin. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It's not bad, but when I poured it, I don't know, it might be stale or something. Usually there's more of a head to it when I pour it. Anyways, this is the pints. The pints here cost about 20 for a Q, which isn't really bad. Like if you compare it to like South America, beers can be expensive, but I think it's mainly because of the taxes and the way they tax things. Like when I was in Peru, if I remember right, the IVA was like 19%, and my friend told me it used to be 20 or 21%. So over the years it came down 1 or 2%. I can't remember. I think it's 1%. But like in Lima, like everything's super expensive. But recently I've been doing some research and prices have been coming down, at least for some things like rents and stuff like that. So anyhow, it's not bad. It's a stout. It's like oatmeal beer. Like if you read the list, it's like has flavors of chocolate and all that nonsense. But it's basically, it says Avena, and I just interpret that as oatmeal beer. But it's not as creamy like you would get in the United States or in just some of the other artisanal breweries down here. That's what's one thing that's kind of cool. Now, I haven't been to Antigua in a long time. I should probably go there before I leave here. But anyways, some of the beer from Antigua is sold here in Shela, and their stout, I forget the name of the company, but is way better than this. This isn't bad. It's nice because it's a pint bottle. Now, when I was buying this at the store, they now have like 12 ounces and then pints. So I just get the pints because, I don't know, it's just what I'm used to. Anyways, I want to make a short video or a long video. I'm not sure. I had made a video about CBDC, central bank digital currencies, heresy finance. If you go onto YouTube and Google heresy finance or financial, I think it is heresy financial. He has a good channel, and it's more from an Austrian economic point of view and a libertarian point of view, so keep that in mind. But I say that because to me, he has some of the best videos because he really, really understands the Austrian economical view on things, whereas other people, in my opinion, just less so. I'm not saying anything bad. It's just a less of an understanding, in my opinion. And he has a good understanding of how economics in general works. How trading works. You know, more of a Renaissance man, if you will. He's a younger person. He has a good outlook on how the world really works, but especially from an Austrian economic point of view. And from what he says in his views, I think he understands how things are actually going to unfold economically. Like he's calling for, there's probably going to be price controls in a year or so. But I won't get into everything he's thinking is a possibility. But anyways, he made a video tonight about central bank digital currencies. The only reason I'm bringing it up is because he was saying the Fed wants comments on this policy of having a central bank digital currency. Now, I don't imagine the Fed really gives a shit about opinions of average people, but they're signaling, or they're at least putting out there, that they want comments. And another thing the Fed said, I think is really important. I just want to make a point to my viewers. To me, this is a really important point to make to you guys. Well, what the Fed said is he does not want, or Powell does not want to implement a central bank digital currency. They said if they do it, they will do it if it's mandated by Congress. Now, I take his word for it. I realize other people have other opinions on it. I just think here, I'll put it this way. If other countries introduce central bank digital currencies, my view is the United States will be the last. Now, it's simple. It's a simple view. It's nothing complicated. I just believe because the U.S. dollar is the reserve currency of the world, at least right now. I mean, contrary to what people think, a lot of countries use the U.S. dollars as their official currency, from El Salvador, Ecuador, Cambodia. There's quite a few more. Like unofficially, they use it in Zimbabwe, Venezuela. I don't know. I don't know if they made a law, but they made a proclamation that you can just buy and sell in dollars now. But I would say large parts of Latin America and Africa unofficially use the dollar. I mean the dollar, paper dollar, and then they use US dollar financial accounts to transact and to settle business transactions from all over the world. I'd also say I'd bet you the dollars are used a lot in Turkey. Dollars are probably used a lot in Lebanon now. Anyhow, Powell has said he doesn't want to do it unless it's mandated by Congress. Now, I believe because the dollar right now is the reserve currency of the world, they really would have to be the last people to implement it. I'm only pointing that out to viewers who live offshore, live overseas, or not U.S. citizens who have U.S. dollar bank accounts or have bank accounts in other countries, but they're U.S. dollars. All U.S. dollars are domiciled at the Fed or the Treasury. So I just make that observation. So I wouldn't worry about it, because if this does happen, it will take years to do it. I think it would take years for the Congress to even decide to do this. And if they were to actually do this, they would be the last. So you'd have some time to make other arrangements, like buying gold or buying Bitcoin or whatever your view is of how you want to handle this. Some kind of real assets in the form of shares, like shares of mining companies or shares of whatever, of local companies of the countries you live in, or real estate of the country you live in, or real estate in the neighboring country you live in, or whatever. So the reason I'm saying all this is because so much of the world relies on dollars to settle like especially oil contracts and business. They'd have to do this slowly over time. I also want to mention too, there's a lot of things I want to talk about. Well, I forgot what I was going to say. Anyways, they would if they were to do this, or let me put it this way. Here's what it is now. In the United States, if you have a business that sells guns, you sell legal marijuana, you have some kind of casino, what else? You're a gold or silver dealer. All these businesses I mentioned, if you have any of those businesses, the banks in the United States can and have shut your bank accounts down because they don't approve of you selling guns. They don't approve of your business selling gold and silver coins. They don't. There's been cases of this already. The reason I'm pointing this out, we already have a lot of tyranny in the United States from what the Fed can do and the big banks can do if they don't approve of your business. They just shut your accounts down. They can also reverse transactions, like when they happen electronically, they can reverse the transaction. So if you want to pay someone or you want to send money offshore, you do all the paperwork, you do everything. Then you find out later from your bank they didn't do it because the Feds or the Treasury Department flagged it for some reason. They won't let you do it. That's already happened like a lot. So there's already a lot of tyranny. If we actually go to central bank digital currencies, they're going to collect every single kind of information you have. They're going to profile you, what you buy, what you don't buy. Are you a healthy person? Are you not a healthy person? Are you doing political things they don't approve of? You kind of see where I'm going with this. If you're an insurance company or bank, you'll want to know this information so you can charge higher rates for insurance or drop you as a client. Or you do business they don't approve, they can drop you as a client. It will be easier and cheaper to get this information to use it against you. That's what I'm trying to get at if we actually go down this road. I'm not putting out the solution. I'm just putting out what will happen if these things happen. But I do believe, at least in the U.S., it will happen slowly over time. Anyways, as far as the U.S. dollar being the reserve currency, here's what you're not hearing in the media. I'm not a big fan of China. I personally don't want a shooting war with China. I don't want a trade war with China, really. I'm more of an isolationist, I guess. I'm not saying that works, but I just want to trade with countries, or, not me personally, but I just don't want a shooting war, and I just don't really want trade wars because it hurts too many people. Anyways, a lot of people think the U.S. power is declining in the world, and I think that's fair to say. Other people think China is rising in power, and that's, again, fair to say. It's also fair to say both China and the U.S. have a lot of problems, and for the U.S. to keep pushing around a lot of countries, probably not going to happen as much, or it's going to be declining because we just don't have as much power and influence. I would also say that about China. China's pissing a lot of people off. So it's not hopeless that China is going to take over the world or the US is going to take over the world or Russia or whatever. Here's what I will say. Saudi Arabia from the 1930s, if I remember right, 1934, I think, the United States government under Roosevelt signed agreements with Saudi Arabia to settle all oil contracts in dollars and to have the Saudis would have the assurances of the U.S. United States Navy to protect their ass in case anything happened to it. They would bail them out. They would make sure they stayed in power. There would never be a coup there. They could run roughshod over their citizens. They could do whatever the hell they wanted. This may be changing. Now, I'm not talking about any conspiracy. I'm just saying, right now, China is one of the biggest buyers of oil in the world. A lot of, not all oil, but a lot of oil that they're buying from, it comes out of Saudi, comes out of Africa, it comes out of Latin America, comes out all over the place. But my point is, a lot of the oil coming out of Saudi will now more and more be going to China. As a matter of fact, most of the United States gets their oil from Canada, number one. I want to say Mexico's number two. But Mexico in the past and Venezuela in the past, but it's mostly coming out of Canada. And we get a lot of our light sweet Brent from Nigeria. Just so the viewers, Google it if you don't believe me. But we get a lot of our light sweet crude out of Nigeria because that's what we can refine really easy. We also get a lot of natural resources from Canada. I mean, a lot of our oil comes from Canada, and our gas. We also get a lot of natural gas from Mexico because we could build gas wells or develop gas wells, like say in California, but because of the regulatory environment, they put them in Mexico, and Mexico gets the benefit of that, and then they pipe it up. I think they pipe it up to the U.S. I might be wrong. Like, if you're an expert, leave it in the comments. But because of the regulatory problems in some states in the United States, like Canada, we get a lot of our natural gas from Mexico. We get a lot of our natural gas from like Michigan and Canada going up north. So we could get a lot more of our resources from the states, but some states make it hard to develop these resources. Anyways, what I'm saying is basically, if China is the biggest buyer of oil out of Saudi Arabia, it won't be in Saudi Arabia's interest to kowtow to the U.S. as much anymore. In fact, if their biggest customer is China, they're going to give preference to what the Chinese want. Probably what the Chinese want is to settle all their contracts in yuan. And other Asian countries will probably do that too. Not all, but some. And I don't know if it's really amount to much in the long run. I don't really know. I'm not an economist, but I'm just saying, going forward in the future, a lot of business won't be settled as much in dollars. It'll probably be dollars, euros, yuan, and yen. But over time, I think it's more and more of the world will use digital dollars, either central bank digital dollars from the Fed or some kind of offshore digital dollar, like not Tether, but something like Tether. Anyways, I got to pour some beer. But I just want to make a point that it's not inevitable that China rules the world, but I do think they're ascending in power. And I think it's more likely China is more an adversary of the U.S. than, say, Russia. That's just my view. Not to say Russia's going to, be our ally or anything, but anyways. Yeah, this is stale, I think. Damn. Anyways, I'm not going to complain. I got some good, stale beer, but anyways, I'll have to go somewhere else next time. Anyways, what else is in the news? There's a lot of stuff in the news. WHO, probably my viewers already aware of this, but WHO said countries need to open up. They need to get rid of the restrictions and let commerce and travel get back to normal. Now, am I shocked that the mainstream media won't report on this? Not really. Will countries start doing that? I think so. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think any country from yesterday and last week and last month who does not open their economies up fully, does not get rid of mask mandates, vaccine mandates, I think that's what the UK did. Leave it in the comments if I'm wrong. I think that's what they did. If they don't start doing what the UK is doing, they're going to be left behind economically and culturally in the future. There will not be a future for countries to do that. So if Australia doesn't open up post haste, and like the Netherlands, I can't name every country in Europe, maybe even Austria, I'm not sure. But if they don't get rid of their max mandates, and if they don't open up their economy from an economic point of view and from a cultural point of view, their countries will be in decline. I think the same of the United States. Just if you're not from the United States, just keep in mind the United States is 50 states. Some states are freer than others. Some counties are freer than other counties inside said state. Just like Arizona and Florida and Texas are more free in general than California. But I'm sure in rural California, these mandates don't mean shit. But I don't know. I'm not in rural California. I hope so. But anyways, that's what I want to say about that. Now I was going to talk about something else. Yeah, like in Latin America, where I'm at in Mexico. Well, I'm not in Mexico right now, but I was. There's less people wearing masks in Mexico, more here in Guatemala. Sometimes I forget to wear my mask. Sometimes I forget to use the gel or get the temperature check. But there's more and more places not doing that. I think pretty soon people will stop wearing masks. Mostly foreigners here don't wear masks. That's one of the big things. And I don't know. There's something else I wanted to comment. I can't remember now. Anyways, it's a chilly. I'll just talk about the weather. It's a chilly day here. I don't know if you can hear that's knocking. Someone's knocking upstairs. Anyways, probably hammering in a picture or something. Anyways, last few days been really chilly here. That's the one thing. That's the one thing I don't like about Shayla. It's a little bit too cold. Trying to think of what I want to talk about something, but I can't remember now. Oh, I'll make some comments on Bitcoin, Ethereum, metaverse coins, gaming coins. My opinion is, which I know most viewers don't give a flip about, but I think Bitcoin is going down to 30, 31, 33,000. I don't know what Ethereum's going to. Probably, I don't know, 2,500 maybe lower. A lot of the game coins have lost 50, 60, 70% of their value. To me, I look at them like junior gold mining coin or junior gold mining shares, like that fell 50% and then they fall another 50%. I think right now is a good opportunity to accumulate slowly over time if you believe in the metaverse play or if you believe in gaming coins, shit like that. If you don't, forget about what I'm saying. Doesn't pertain to you. Like, I think the let me just check. The coins like Wilder World, GHST, which is Abagochi, C-War, forget the PYR, which is Voyager, I think. I might be wrong on that, but PYR, that's kind of one of the big gaming coins. And I forget the other one, but anyways, these things are probably going to, like before they were selling for $5 to $10 a coin. A lot of these coins are under $1 or they're under $2. I think they're going back to 5 or 10, maybe even higher. I think some of these coins are going to sell off into the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 cent range. I'm just going to keep accumulating myself. This is not investment advice. This is very, very speculative stuff. This is really like junior gold mining where there's fraud. Like, who was it? Tom. Who was it? Anyways, there's a liar at the entrance of the mine. I forget who said that. But anyways, this is just highly speculative stuff. But my opinion is we're going to get a slowing down in the economy. We're going to get a big bull market in gold, 50, 60% rally. And once the stock market gets knocked down a lot, buying these coins will be, for me anyways, what I'm going to do. if you're a trader in tech stocks, you probably want to pick them up when they're cheap. But right now, I think inflation's likely to slow down, but not a lot, and we might still get a sell-off in the share markets, like in NASDAQ, especially the high growth stocks and the high growth tech stocks. Probably that tech bear market will continue. Probably not much so. That's too bad. I want to talk about something else, but I forgot. Anyways, I just see kind of for people in Bitcoin, it's going to sell off to probably about 30,000. I don't see it much going below 30,000. I could be way off base. I might be wrong. And I still think there's going to be kind of a crash in shares. But probably the minute they crash 10, 20%, I see the Fed backing down. Oh, that's another thing. The Fed says there's already 3 to 4 interest rate hikes priced into the market. I'm starting to see the big New York banks saying there's going to be 8 or 9 interest rates increases. They must be high or something, because the United States government can't sustain like 1, 2, 3% interest rates. It's just not going to happen. But anyways, that's just my opinion. So I think the Fed's going to raise rates very little, if at all, but probably one time. We'll have to wait and see. Anyways, because I can't remember what I was going to talk about, I'm just going to upload this video. I just wanted to point out that the central bank digital currency, if it does happen, it's going to be slowly over time, in my opinion. It's going to be really authoritarian. It's going to accelerate. It's not just the Fed doing this. Lots of things are accelerating migration. Like poor people from third world countries are going to first world countries. People in first world countries with money are going to third world countries and tax havens to get away from the rising taxes and rising crime. This will just, if the Fed and other governments do this, it's going to accelerate commerce into the internet and what other people are calling the metaverse. There's going to be established, I know this sounds crazy, but there's going to be established tax havens in the metaverse. There's going to be established decentralized dollars in the metaverse. There's going to be decentralized DAOs where you can buy and sell any currency free of tax, free of regulation. You may not be able to use your ATM card or your credit card, but there'll be a way you can get on those rails and get in there and do business. And if they go down this road of authoritarianism, this is what people are going to do. Like I don't know if you know this, but because I do follow Bitcoin, the president of Turkey is now in El Salvador, so I don't know what's going on there. People are speculating that he wants to get on the Bitcoin train. I'm skeptical, but we'll have to see. But whatever he's doing, he's making alliances with President Bukele to do something, maybe to get on Bitcoin. I don't know, but who knows? But what if governments do all this nonsense? This is just going to accelerate stuff to the offshore world, the metaverse world, and people are going to start putting up ways where you can do all this commerce offshore, whether you live offshore or not, and it's going to be tax-free, regulation-free. And if the governments really crack down, like China and Russia, as far as conducting commerce in the metaverse, people are just going to leave. I recognize people in China just can't leave as easily as Americans can. But just today, or actually I think last week, I think it's Melissa Chen, who's a YouTube influencer in Canada. She's from Singapore, but she moved with her family to Canada. During this COVID crisis, she couldn't get her father health care because Canada shut down the healthcare system to people for whatever reasons. It so pissed her off. Now she's moving to the States. This is what I'm talking about. If you keep pissing people off, they're just going to leave their legal jurisdictions. They're going to legally leave and legally not pay tax anymore. They're going to remain productive people. They're just going to give the middle finger to the IRS or to Revenue Canada or whatever they call it up there. This is what they're going to do. So countries who say they're going to start cracking on this, some don't have the ability to actually do it. Some do who have the ability. Their capital and their productive people are just going to leave. So this is a process that will take time. That's all I'm trying to say. It's a process that will take time to work out, to see what works, what doesn't work. But in the short term, it could get ugly. But in the long term, I think it's better to be optimistic, because there will be rails, there will be processes where you can do all this completely outside your country of birth, whether you live there or not. And then there'll be ways you can legally leave your country or not legally leave and start a life anew and earn a middle class income, have a middle class lifestyle, and not be affected by all this. That's why I think if Australia keeps doing what they're doing, their quality of life and standard of living is just going to go down, and their citizens are just going to move. Like, I'm aware of a lot of Australians just leaving, just plain leaving. Canadians, Australians, Americans, Canadians. So to me, it's a hopeful thing to think about. It's like a hopeful note on this while I close this video out. Anyways, just want to share some stuff tonight about what I think is going on. I'm gonna have to start writing shit down because I can't remember what I was going to comment on something else that I thought was fascinating. There's a lot of fascinating things happening right now, so I just wanted to comment it, but now I can't remember. But anyways, like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thanks. Have a good evening wherever you're at in the world.